Hola, estudiantes. Buenos días. Hoy es el 17 o el 18 de mayo. Es lunes o martes. So now that we're working on forming questions, here's a question for you. Habla la señora Jones español? Remember, these are yes or no questions. Sí. Okay, so let's say you know the answer is sí, but you can answer in a complete sentence. Sí, ella, referring to Señora Jones, habla español. Also, just a reminder, I've been putting songs on the first slide just for your enjoyment. You can watch it and listen. You don't have to. It's just for your enjoyment. ¿Alguna pregunta? So, of course, I ask questions all the time. Do you have any questions? Any questions? ¿Alguna pregunta? Okay, I'd like you at home to watch this. This is 100 preguntas, 100 questions, and these are sí or no answers. So they're going to go really fast. A lot of it is te gusta, do you like? And sometimes it has some images that go along with it. See if there's at least 10 that you think you understand. It's a fun little activity that I'd like you to do from home. Okay, don't forget that I need your formativo número dos. This includes 3 things. Introduce your friend to another person, ask and answer where you are going, how you are getting there, and what you are doing, and ensure to include a greeting and a farewell. If you look at Día Uno, from 10 de mayo a 14 de mayo, I have a lot of slides in there, right here, that can help you practice for this. Please see me during office hours from 2:15 to 3 if you need guidance. Okay, feedback formativo número dos for those of you who completed your work on time. Overall, here's some feedback. La pronunciación. Es necesario practicar en la clase o en la casa. So it's really necessary that you practice in the class or at home. So through the slides, if I ask you to repeat something or watch something or respond to something, you need to do this because this helps you with your pronunciation. Hay que estudiar y escuchar los flashcards. All those flashcards in your vocabulario folder, carpeta, creo que es carpeta roja o carpeta naranja, has your flashcards. It's titled vocabulario. Now, when you look at your flashcards, there's a little audio symbol. You can wear audífonos and listen because that's how you learn. You'll listen and repeat. Also, if you ever want to know in la clase or en la casa, you can ask me in español, ¿cómo se pronuncia? How do you pronounce? And then ask me. Vocabulario. So there are some errors with gender. Here's a few. La clase. So it's la clase. No es el clase. Y la oficina. And then there are some wrong words in the introduction. Your introduction, many of your introductions are informal. You introduced a friend to a friend. So do not put the word a in front of your friend's name. You could say, Julio, te presento a Luisa. I'm sorry, I might have misspoke. Do not put the word la. Julio, te presento a Luisa. You do not need to say a la Luisa. You would only say la if it goes in front of a person's title, like la señora Jones, la doctora Jones, la profesora Jones, o el profesor Jones, el doctor Jones. Okay, at this point, I want you to have this kind of memorizado. Yo voy, tú vas, él, ella, usted va, nosotros, nosotras vamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes van. And then what this means. So this is something that you'll want to make flashcards out of or study. Again, I kind of stripped it down. Here's the translations in blanco, but now here's the conjugations here. Okay. This is a game that we're going to play in class. You don't have to worry about this at home because really I'm just asking you to make sure that you know these conjugations, and we're going to make a game out of it in class. If you know these conjugations, like if you can complete this chart without looking at the screen, you are good to go. Okay, now we're going to review how to form questions. Ella va a to eat. What is that? ¿Cómo se dice to eat? comer. Muy bien. Punto. That's a sentence. Ella va a comer. Now, in order to make it a question, the first example, ella va a comer, is to rise your voice at the end and then change the punctuation. The second way, don't forget to always raise your voice at the end with a question. Ella va a comer, coma, pregunta. No? Pregunta. Ella va a comer. No? She's going to eat, right? Okay. And then the third way is to switch the subject and the verb. Va ella a comer. And that is the most challenging and perhaps the most necessary. Okay. So now I want you to work on translations. I want you to pause the screen after I say this in English. Is she going to eat? Now pause the screen and I want you to try to translate that back into Espanol. Va ella a comer? Are you, informal, going to run? Figure out the translation and pause. ¿Vas tú a correr? Muy bien. Are we going to study? Pause. ¿Vamos nosotros a estudiar? Oh, that should say, is he going to swim? I gave you the Spanish answer word right there. Is he going to swim? ¿Va él a nadar? Are they, feminine, going to walk? ¿Van ellas a caminar? Okay. Now, to make sure that you know how to do this, the tarea has the 3 different ways of asking questions. Please work on that. If you have already, you do not have any additional homework. Adios.